Welcome to PACTV Community News with local stories from your communities on the South Shore. This week we'll take you to a lobster auction in Plymouth, an intergenerational event in Kingston, and we visit a soccer group in Marshfield that serves many towns on the South Shore.
We visit with the Plymouth 400 Ambassador Group to learn what their role is with the 2020 Commemoration and beyond, and we check out the new teen space in the Plymouth Library.
We hook up with an exercise instructor who loves what she does and brings it to as many people as she possibly can. And we stop into Break-A-Leg Theater's masterclass that was held over the February vacation.
We also have Tom Calter, the new town administrator in Kingston, on set for our Town Talk segment. It's going to be a great show, and we begin at a unique auction held in Cordage Park. Well, the big sculptured lobsters around town are officially gone. This multi-year fundraiser and artistic showcase, which included 29 lobsters, raised funds for the Chamber of Commerce ongoing services such as community events, networking opportunities, and business offerings. The final destination of the 15 of the lobsters was determined at a live auction held at the 1620 Winery in Cordage Park. PCN was there to bring you the highlights.
We are at the Lobster Crawl Auction, which is an exciting event celebrating the last hurrah of the lobster crawl. We have 15 lobsters up for auction tonight. People will be bidding on their lobsters and hopefully taking them home to their homes or their business.
It's the culmination of 3 years of the lobsters being out. It's our public art display for the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce. And it's 3 years of having the lobsters out on display. These are the lobsters that were leased. They're coming back into the fold so that we can auction them off to help fund our next art project and a lot of our education programs for the Chamber.
We thought of this idea during a time where the Mayflower II was not in port, so we thought it would be a great opportunity for tourists and visitors to enjoy.
Well, I have been fascinated with the lobsters ever since they were painted and displayed around town. So I enjoyed visiting places, checking them out, see which ones I liked and all of that. So to be here tonight is kind of the end of that whole process. So I really love sirloin, the lobster. It doesn't sound like it should be anything I would be interested in, but he's got this wonderful anchor, a Navy anchor on his chest. And the reason I love it is because I had 23 years in the Navy Reserves, and my son was active duty Navy, and he was a bombardier navigator on A6s.
We plan to have a second public art display sponsored by the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce again and sponsored by local businesses. And we have released the new proposed idea, which is a scallop shell, and that will be coming out in the summer of 2019, and it'll be up for a 2.5-year span as well, and during the 400th commemoration for 2020.
We figured the lobster was nice, but we needed something to come into 2020 that would help draw people to the culture of Plymouth and what the Plymouth 2020 is all about, and that's what the scallop show is going to be about.
I went with you to this, Zach, and this was one of the most unbelievably unique events I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of auctions in my life, but they were auctioning off these lobsters. And different people, like Catherine was there because she wanted one because it reminded her of the Navy and the whole venue that she wanted to bring home to her family. But what the lobsters ended up going for so much more than any of us thought they would go for. Like that particular lobster went for over $6,000. So it was just cool.
Yeah, it was really unique. I personally haven't gotten a chance to see many of them, so this was my first time actually seeing a lot of them up close.
Yep.
But to see that the community cares so much about them as much as the artists who made them,
right,
and you know that they can pay so much attention to them,
yeah,
and you know, bid so high on
yeah,
some of these lobsters, it really shows that they do care a lot about these art exhibits that are being put up in the town.
And they're a unique and iconic thing to have. I mean, who has a lobster, right? Like, nobody has one of these. And I'm glad that they're going to do the scallops, which is next. And what's really cool about the lobsters, too, was that people from all over the world would follow the map that the Chamber of Commerce put up of where all the lobsters were, and they'd take pictures with the different lobsters, and they'd post them on social media. So we have people from everywhere with those lobsters, and I'm sure the same thing will happen with the scallops. So it's great, good for you, keep it up. Break a Leg Theater is a nonprofit theater group for youth. They hold various theater camps throughout the year. In February, they held a master's class and had performers from the School of Rock show. They were in to review the youth rehearsals and give feedback. This incredibly powerful week helped the youth grow in their individual areas as well as a group. They invited PCN in to get a glimpse of what a day is like for the youth and meet the masters as well.
Listen to each other.
This is Break a Leg Theater Works, our February Vacation Week intensive. We're calling it Rock On. In addition to working on rock songs and material and scenes, we also have master classes with 5 guest artists from the cast of School of Rock.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and cross. 2, 3, cross. Bump, da, 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 da. Good. That's a great way to remember it. I am on the first national tour of School of Rock, and we are here in Boston at the Boston Opera House. And Kyle, the owner of this Break a Leg Theater, asked me to come and teach class for these kids, and it's been such a great opportunity to come and put musical theater into these kids' lives and see how excited they get about it.
Break a Leg Theater is an awesome way for kids to stay in the arts and to get introduced to the arts. And the workshops and the classes and stuff that they're able to give these young kids of professional tours, like the master classes, like that's incredible. I wish I had that.
We meet them on Monday, we sort of get a feel for who they are as individuals, and then we spend the week incorporating dance and music and scene work around them. And we pick a theme or a genre, and so since School of Rock was in town, we picked School of Rock this week.
Well, this show is a combination between the stuff that the masters from the cast of School of Rock have come to taught us and the stuff that we've been working on with Kyle and Haley. It's Rock On, it's all about, you know, rock music and things like that, and it's just been so fun, and I get to choreograph some of the numbers, so there's a lot of dancing and singing, and it's just a lot of fun.
We're here, right? We're here, got that. So stay low.
They will teach you so much, and I just love learning new things from people who have so much experience. So they like want to see everything from you. So the fact that you get to show them that is really cool.
I teach them a little bit about theater and give them critique on their show that they're about to do and get to hang out with them. So my big suggestion is take away your thinking faces, right? Yes. I don't care. Like I was saying to my second group I was teaching today, I don't care your moves as much as I care about your character and you're having fun and what's going on stage. I will enjoy the show so much better if you're all having fun than you all did exactly the right move, right? Kyle has a resume of, you know, many years of being on Broadway and national tours and all over the world. So they get taught from professionals, and then people like me and my friends that come in from national tours get to come in and they get this opportunity to learn from people that are in the business, something that they want to do, hopefully, maybe, in their future lives. So in order to have a community that they can come and play and hang out and learn is an incredible experience for them.
It's such an amazing experience that Kyle has the connections to bring people from the Boston Opera House and Broadway to come to teach us, because personally I've taken a lot of the master classes and I've gained something from every single different teacher, because every teacher has a different experience and they have something else to say. And I like how this week we've had a lot of dance master classes and I love to dance, so it's just been so much fun and really rewarding for me.
3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Today I'm teaching an improv class. Playing some games with the kids at first to get them loose and excited and get that energy out, which was very quickly with these kids, very energetic, which is great. A lot of creativity. And we played some games just to work on the specific things in improv, such as focusing and creativity and listening, which is very important. So improvisation is a different thing other than dancing and acting and stuff like that. It's an essential part, but it also is something different and a way for them to have fun. So we reached out to give them a different experience and a fun experience.
it allows them to be themselves, to be free.
You know, if you make a mistake, they'll tell you to keep on going, or they'll tell you, you got it. Mistakes are how you learn.
Theater is a way to express themselves and be exactly who they are, and it's a community where everybody has welcomed every type and size and race and gender and sexuality and everything that we encompass in this world today.
You know, there's not one path to success, and it really humanizes the actors when the students get to see the ups and downs and the trials and the tribulations. And so it's really, really a valuable experience. They're very lucky.
You can let your inner you just like be free. You can just be you in this game.
Wendy Weiser is a dance fitness instructor who teaches at many places around Plymouth, including Archways, a day program for adults with developmental disabilities. PCN caught up with Wendy and participants to learn how dance fitness can be good for all shapes, sizes, and abilities.
I've been teaching here maybe about 3 years. I've definitely seen over time the ability to concentrate and to relax the body as well as exercise the body.
Mondays we do lessons, we do dances, a lot of dances, you know? I love it.
I like the songs, and because it's good exercise.
I like to dance with my friends, and I like to do, like to dance with them. Anybody can do fitness. Everyone, like boys, girls, anyone.
You don't have to be any size, any shape. You don't have to have 2 legs. I mean, you're good to do Zumba in any body. And I feel very passionate about that, so I enjoy teaching people of different abilities, sizes, shapes, ages, languages. People that are deaf take Zumba, they feel the vibration. I mean, anyone can do it. As a participant, I would say it depends on your comfort level. So you're going to walk in the door, and if you're already comfortable dancing, no sort of inhibitions, then getting into Zumba is going to be a snap because you're going to follow the instructor, no problem. But if you walk into a dance fitness class and you're a little bit inhibited, that's going to take some time. And I always recommend not looking in the mirror and instead just watching the instructor because nobody's looking at you, everyone's looking at me. So if you sort of get over the piece of what do I look like in that mirror, you're going to feel more confident in your movements.
Zumba makes me feel happy and good inside.
Dance fitness is always making people healthy and always help the people all around here.
You know, again, I always talk about confidence first because that's my approach to fitness, and I'm always looking to give people sort of the confidence to move in their body in a way that feels nice. And also the byproduct of that is that you get to build strength and build flexibility.
The Plymouth Public Library recently opened a teen space, and PCN went over to see what it's all about.
The teen space at the Plymouth Public Library is a space for not just teens, but also tweens. So it's meant for ages 9 to 18 to come, to do some studying, to hang out, to play video games now. We just wanted a space in which teens felt comfortable coming to the library and something that was uniquely their own.
We had a literacy center here years and years ago. This space was not being used, and I was asked repeatedly to find a space for our teens, our tweens, and we figured out this was the best spot. We did a lot of walking around the library and located it in this spot here.
We've always had a sort of lack of services for teens. We had a collection for teens and we've had some programming for teens, but we really didn't have a dedicated space for them. About a year or two ago, we decided to apply for a Teens and Tweens grant through the Library Services and Technology Act as administered through the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners. So we were able to get $15,000 over a 2-year period to build a teen space, to build up the collection, and to also provide programming.
We've had the space since around the fall. Slowly everything has been putting together, and now that everything is in, we can finally avail it to the public. But definitely we've had some teens and tweens enjoying it since a little bit before Christmas, and it's so far been really great. And we hope that now that we have everything together, we will be able to get some more teens in.
So right now we have our young adult book collection, which we've had for a long time. Now we have tables that people can use for doing homework or doing projects. We have a PlayStation 4 and a video game center with a TV. We have movable furniture. We have cool footrests and exciting couches and things like that for the teens.
Our trustees love it. They were part of the process and they have seen it and they love it. The teens that are part of our teen advisory group and tween interest group, both of those groups love it, and so far it's been great, and we're just getting ready to introduce it to the public. Well, I guess it's up in the air as to what we might add to this space. Definitely we've spent a lot now just to get it as it is, and in the future we might add some things based on what the teens ask for.
What I see as growing in the space, first of all, as a librarian, I want to make sure they have access to their young adult books.
I would really love to focus on having a lot of teen programming, having things that they can come in and do. Right now we have coloring pages, we have the video games, but it would be so exciting to have more groups get together. We're talking about doing all kinds of different programming workshops and exciting events that teens can be involved in the space and in the library as a whole.
I think we're good.
March 6th. Okay, bye now. Thank you, ladies.
Plymouth 400 is working hard to bring the 400th Commemoration alive in 2020. One of the hardworking groups is called the Ambassadors. This program is designed to ensure visitors can access information about the many things to do, places to park, rest areas, and any other questions that will make their visit enjoyable and comfortable. Trained ambassadors will be stationed around Plymouth on key dates throughout 2020 and beyond. PCN stopped into one of their trainings to see what the program entails.
Welcome to the last class of your ambassador program. I'm just so grateful that you all are so interested enough to really commit this kind of time. Plymouth 400 really tries to build in some legacy projects into what we do for the 2020 commemoration. And one of those things is to create a program where ambassadors welcome visitors to Plymouth. And so what we're doing is we have an ambassador program, and it's a 2-week course, and people come and they learn about how to deal with difficult situations, with emergencies, with people who might have a difficulty understanding. They also will welcome people and tell them where the bathrooms are and where, the restaurants might be found.
The training is good. It's communication skills. When we talk about interpretation, it's a communications process, and some of the things in class that we cover as part of the curriculum aren't things that we necessarily expect the ambassadors to cover. It's a required part of the curriculum because it's a national curriculum, but it's still good life skills. And so the training is something that no matter what you're doing, if you're an ambassador for a year, it's going to be super helpful then, or working in something like state parks. It's a good set of communication skills, and communication skills are never bad.
So you'll have one packet, which is the presentation. The cover looks like this.
Thank you.
You'll have one packet that is frequently asked questions, and you'll have one that says top-line messaging.
Part of the training that we're doing is the Certified Interpretive Host Workshop. It's created by the National Association for Interpretation. They are the national association, actually international now. We've run this class in multiple countries, and their job is to promote the field of interpretation to different agencies and to different governments. And as part of doing that, they created a number of certifications and training classes. And one of the things that we're doing is using the Certified Interpretive Host training curriculum as part of this class. In this class, we have 3 people who have chosen to attempt certification. And the people who are certifying have an additional literature review to do. And it really shows the extra measure that some of our ambassadors are taking.
And so these classes started in the winter, and we graduated our first class in December, and that was 12 people. And we have another class going on right now. This is their last night. I always do a 2-hour session during the last night just about Plymouth 400 itself.
The overall response among the participants has been excellent, and they could tell you better than I could what their feelings on it are, but the comments that I've received from them have been overwhelmingly positive.
When we talk about Plymouth 400, we don't talk about it as a Plymouth event. We talk about it as an event that encompasses not only America, but 4 nations. It's a really great opportunity for people who want to volunteer and be involved to really get some meaty, interesting jobs and be able to be on the street and letting people know what is going on for the 400th anniversary.
Being an ambassador, as long as you don't mind talking to people, is going to be a great experience. You're going to get to talk to people from all over the world and interact with them and share the story of Plymouth, both the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag, with them and help them have a better experience.
For 23 years, Hotshot Soccer has served young girls on the South Shore that uses untraditional teaching tools like parachutes and puppets to teach soccer skills and confidence to children and their families. PCN dropped by the program's Sunday session to see this very unique sports program.
I founded the program back in 1995. I took my daughter out to the soccer field, and she was 6, and half of the girls left before the session was over in tears, because it just was too much for them. They had no self-confidence. And then we took what was remaining and we took them to an indoor soccer facility to say we want to play in the winter. And the owner took me past this beautiful indoor soccer field out to a concrete tennis court. And I said, but what about back there? And 1995, he said, that's for the boys. Yeah. So I decided at that point, we're going to start something for girls only, and it's grown ever since then. 4,500 girls have graduated. Hotshot Soccer is really all about building girls' self-esteem, love of reading, athletic skills in a supportive environment that requires 100% parental participation. So it develops that bond that we think the girls are going to need, that sense of support, that sense of self-confidence and self-esteem when they start to go into grade school, and particularly middle school and high school. So we're trying to build the girl of tomorrow.
Art's 4 years old. This is her first year doing soccer. Yeah, so this is the new program for her, and her older sister is also a soccer player, and playing soccer is something we both love, and we can share together. It's a lot of fun.
So what we do, we use imagination. So we use puppets and parachutes and pillow fights and tiaras and tutus and alligators and horseback rides. All designed, every single one of those crazy drills reinforces a soccer skill. If you watch these girls out here today, they'll dribble in a straight line. If nothing else is going on, it's a straight line. But if their parent is chasing them with a pillow, they're going to turn because they don't want to get hit. So we're encouraging turning. To teach field of vision, they dribble around and the parents take stuffed animals and throw stuffed animals at them. So if they don't look up, bam, upside the head with Mickey Mouse. So it's all about engaging their imagination, showing them that learning can be fun. We also have a mentoring program. So we have these girls who are in blue. We have 24 middle and high school coaches who work their way up. So the seniors run the operation. They have to learn how to cope with adults who are upset, with children who are upset, figure out cost, figure out problems they have to learn how to do, and they're giving back to the community. They also work with the little girls. And then what we did was we've been in business for 23 years, so the coaches who were here in 1996 are now professionals in their field. So when these girls become a coach, what they've joined is a network of women who've succeeded. And so we have a girl here, for example, who's interested in marketing. We're putting with a coach who does marketing. Another one is interested in nursing. We're sending to her to spend time with a nurse, former coach. So it's networking, it's building up a chance for women to develop, whether they're little kids, 2 to 6, or whether they're this age.
There's just something different about it that I couldn't really explain. Just seeing all these little girls here, they're all having so much fun and they're bonding with their parents, and it's such a unique program, and it's just something that I wish I had growing up, and so I wanted to help be part of it and maybe help other girls.
I guess about almost 20 years ago, we thought we should do more. What can we do more? What's important in a girl's development? Well, reading. So we started with our library.
So the way that the library works is on the first week, you get to take home up to 4 books per girl. And you go home, you read them, and then you bring them back, and then you get 4 new ones. And we also accept donations, and those donations will go right back into the library and right back to the program.
They take books home every week, that's great, but it's not a part of the program. So what we've started now is a story time. How many sports programs, never mind soccer programs, start with a story time? You read the story, and I make sure I choose stories that require the girls to be part of it. One of the big things, in addition to the books here and the reading here, is we sell souvenirs to buy books for elementary school libraries. We have donated $15,000 worth of books to elementary school libraries in the area in the last 15 years. So there are a lot of books in the libraries from Hotshots. We're based in Marshfield, but we get people from Plymouth, Duxbury, Kingston, Hanson, Abington, Norwell, Scituate, Hanover, Cohasset, Hingham, as far as Milton, Weymouth, all over the place. We want to expand. We're going to expand. And what we're torn between is doing it by ourselves or partnering with the YMCA, partnering with Boys and Girls Clubs, partnering with other programs who have a built-in, they have a facility, they've got an email list, and they could say, we're offering Hot Shots at the Y, Hot Shots at the Boys and Girls Club. But yeah, we're coming.
Okay guys, really loud, you ready? Who do you believe in? Me! Oh, come on ladies, ready? Me! Who else do you believe in? My friends. If you believe in your friends and yourself, you can try anything. And how hard do we try? My hardest you can always do. My best. Do we ever give up? No. Ready? We are the mighty Hot Shots. We pulverize the ball. We boot it and shoot it and rock it and sock it. We're Hot Shots after all. Listen loud. Hot Shots. Hot Shots. Hot Shots. All right, ladies. See you next week. Get some books on your way out. Come on.
Kingston Community Fun, a partnership between several Kingston organizations, teamed up this February vacation for Pazingo. The intergenerational event was held at the Kingston Council on Aging and included pizza, drinks, and bingo with stuffed animals and books as prizes.
Today is Book Pazingo, and it was started by the Kingston Recreation Department several years ago on a Friday evening. They used to have a lot of kids who came, and then they sort of paused it for a while and decided to start having it here at the Council on Aging. And then a couple of years ago, the Recreation Department asked the Council on Aging, the Adams Center, and the Kingston Public Library to join together to form Kingston Community Fun, and that's what we have now. We have a Book Pazingo, which is bingo, and the prizes are books and stuffed animals. We found that a lot of the programs that we've developed have incurred intergenerational attendance. So we've sort of switched over to making the focus of our group as intergenerational for programming. And it's worked out really well. It's a great community service event, so if you have a child in the 7th through 12th grades and they're looking for community service, just ask either the library or the rec center or the Council on Aging about Kingston Community Fun events, and we'll be happy to include you in our events. So for almost all our Kingston Community Fun events, we register people through the kingstonrec.com website. Sometimes there's a small fee and sometimes there's not, depending on whether we can find funding or whether we need to charge. In this case, we charge for the pizza. The books and the stuffed animals have been donated. So basically, you sign up online, you come in, you pay the small fee for pizza. Everybody eats pizza, and then we start bingo games. So you play 10 bingo games, 3 cards each for each game. So you have a pretty good chance of winning. Right now we have 24 kids in there, I think. So I think they'll all end up with a prize. And usually at the end we give everybody something.
We are so pleased to welcome back on set today Tom Calter, who is the town administrator for the town of Kingston. Welcome back.
Julie, thanks for having me, and pardon my raspy voice.
I like your raspy voice.
I'm just getting it back.
It shows you talk a lot.
I certainly do.
Which is great. We're here, and we've been here with all the town managers and administrators about town meeting. Now, I've noticed, it's hard not to notice, that the Kingston town meeting tends to go on for quite a few evenings.
Indeed.
Is there a particular reason why your town meeting lasts a long time, in your opinion?
There's a couple of reasons, Julie. First of all, town meeting is, without question, the purest form of government that we have. And whatever it takes, it takes. Governing is not easy.
Yeah.
It can be complex. It can be messy.
Yeah.
And whatever it is okay. But more importantly, the second reason is we have a lot going on in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Kingston is a community that's really on the move. We've made a priority of economic development.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking to new businesses almost daily about coming to Kingston. Over the past 2 decades, a great deal of preservation has occurred, which we all support, but not much development.
Yeah.
And during that time period, the pressure on residential taxpayers has increased dramatically because our commercial base has decreased.
Right.
So my charge is to build the economy in Kingston, and that requires a great deal of zoning adjustments, zoning changes, community impact and input, and that all plays out at town meeting.
Right.
So it's all good.
It is all good, right. Now, I have also noticed over the past year, especially when Josh Warren came on your Board of Selectmen, that there has been a lot more shows that you've taken advantage of PACTV's ability to do shows for you. For example, Josh Warren created and is hosting a show called Good Day Kingston. Janet Wade has a show, Healthy Kingston, and both shows have a variety of topics and guests. This provides a theater for a lot of information, and we're covering more and more meetings in the town of Kingston.
Yes, you are.
So I know as a resident of Pembroke, when I go to the town meeting, it's really nice that I have had the ability to learn and listen to a lot of different opinions and a lot of different information about the warrants, so that I don't go in there cold and blind.
Right.
Can you speak to that?
First, let me say that Selectman Warren has been on the job for almost a year now. I've never known anyone who has run for office for the first time and had such a profound impact on the community. Josh is genuinely interested in open government and transparency, and so he has worked very hard to bring the Kingston citizens into the process in a very positive, data-driven, upbeat way, and I thank him for that. We all thank him for that. He's an extraordinary young leader. Pardon me again. The Board of Selectmen believe that it's their job to bring information to the community. So at every Board of Selectmen meeting, we now cover between 5, 7, 8 of the articles in great detail so that folks aren't hearing it for the first time. We have public meetings scheduled between now and May 4th on the more complex issues having to do with our anticipated investment in wastewater treatment expansion, in the marijuana bylaw, in our economic development plans. Again, the objective is, as Josh has really displayed, is to bring to our citizens the information they need and they deserve in order to cast an informed vote at town meeting.
And what is true, I think, in all towns is that you give out information. Not everyone is always going to agree on the information.
That's okay.
And that's democracy.
That's democracy.
You have people that just don't agree, and that's okay. So if everyone's coming from the same set of facts, they absolutely might come to different opinions about those facts, but the facts are the facts.
You know, I served as a legislator for 12 years in the 12th Plymouth District, and that's exactly what I used to say to the folks of the 12th, 40,000 constituents, that reasonable people will typically reach consensus if they're all looking at good data. Unfortunately, in these times, people bring their own ideology, their own data, their own opinions, informed or otherwise, to the argument. And so it's difficult to zero in on consensus. The leaders of Kingston, and I'm very proud to work on their behalf, believe that good data is imperative to good government.
Sure.
And there are those who have been shouting from the rooftop for many times that open and transparency is very important, and we agree with them. Openness, transparency, good information, good data is critical. And I'll tell you, I work for the Kingston Board of Selectmen, and through them for the citizens of the town of Kingston. And I can tell you to a person, all 5 members are absolutely committed to sharing everything to the best of their ability, and without driving a particular ideology or agenda, so that folks can make an informed decision.
Right. And again, in any democracy, oftentimes compromise is the answer. That things do end up being, it's not black or white, it's always gray.
You know, we're all very critical of ourselves and others. If our federal government operated as local government operated, we wouldn't have the challenges we have today in Washington. So as imperfect as town meeting may be, as imperfect as town government may be, boy, it's to me, it's a true representative government.
Right.
And it's a government that works for the people and with the people and is open to the people. And unlike our federal government. And town government is not influenced by outside sources. We're influenced by the citizens who we consider our board members.
That's who you work for.
That's who
you
we
work for your citizens. Now, your town meeting is on May 4th, which is a Saturday at the Kingston Intermediate School.
Right.
Between now and then, people can go to PACTV.org and look at your selectmen's meetings, because we have them all on demand. So you can see what articles have been talked about and the rationale behind whatever decisions you've made. One of the biggest things is you have wastewater and water distribution capital projects.
Right.
Can you just briefly describe what those are?
I will. First of all, let me say that the town warrant is nearly complete, and it will be made public to the community, the earliest it's ever been made public, at least in the 31 years I've been in Kingston.
And where will they find that?
And again, they'll find it on the Kingston website.
Okay.
They can come into Town Hall and get a copy of it. We want people to come get it, to understand it, to walk into my office and ask a question. Water and wastewater. Very, very important to understand that Kingston is very rich in terms of its land and its location. So we're right off Route 3. 3 exits off of Route 3. Route 44 east and west. But we have not done a lot of major development. There are big clean energy, clean biotech companies that are looking for the type of resources that we have. Connection to rail, the MBTA, 40-hour district, access to the highway, access to 44. So we have been actively reaching out to them. So in order to do that, we need to support them with water and wastewater.
Your infrastructure has to be there.
Let's take water. Our water infrastructure is a low-pressure water infrastructure from the mall south into Plymouth.
Okay.
It's high pressure right up to Indian Pond. In order to support anticipated growth in commercial development, we need to expand that water distribution system and increase it to high pressure.
Everywhere.
Down 3A right into Plymouth. Through the mall, down 3A right into Plymouth. That will give us the water. We are rich in water resources. But our distribution system is not as progressive as it needs to be.
So you got to work on that.
In wastewater, we built the plant primarily to serve the communities along the waterfront, to deal with our Title V problems. In order to build an economic base, we need to expand our wastewater capacity at the plant, whether it be by 1 tank, 2 tanks, or 3 tanks. So we're in active negotiation with Kingston Collection to determine whether their anticipated 300 housing units and hotel will hook up to our wastewater plant, or whether they will build their own plant. We have major lots of land in Kingston that can provide tremendous economic commercial growth for us, but the distribution system for wastewater goes right by their property. But they're not hooked up, and they're permitted, for instance, for 1 bathroom. When it could be 30 units. So that's what
Those are all the things you have to
water
work out.
and
Yep.
wastewater is about. It's the support system for our economic base.
Okay, great. You have two other subjects. Let's talk about really briefly is marijuana and solar development.
Yes. Kingston is one of the communities that at the ballot box voted against retail marijuana sales.
Okay.
At town meeting, in a very sudden turn of events, Kingston did away with its moratorium and by a narrow margin passed retail marijuana sales.
Okay.
It caught us off guard, caught all of us off guard. So we worked very quickly to develop a zoning bylaw for dealing with that. And the zoning bylaw is flawed. It's very restrictive. It allows for for opening of a retail sales facility in very small portions of town. And that was not the intent.
Right.
So one of the town meeting warrants is to open it up perhaps to industrial and to other commercial areas so we don't have two facilities in one
Same
part
place.
of town.
Right, okay.
On the other hand, there are citizens petitions that says bring back the moratorium.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 5 articles on marijuana that traverse the whole perspective from ban it to expand it.
And again, this is just, it's all based on, democracy.
It's exactly
Democracy
right.
will rule on that one. But go in with knowledge and with facts.
In terms of solar, we're going after development that increases our revenue and decreases the burden on our citizens as fast as possible. There's some low-hanging fruit. Our landfill was a ripe location to build solar on, which will generate over $200,000 a year in revenue into our tax base. We put that out for bid. We've got a winning bidder.
Great.
We hope to start development in the next 6 months. The offal pits in Kingston off of Raybeth Road, another area rich for certain types of development, solar being one of them. We put out to bid the lease of that property. We've got a winning bidder. That will generate $75,000 to $100,000 a year in additional revenue. So solar development as a green community, that's important to us.
Of course it is.
And KWI, we're working out a deal with them so that thing will spin again.
Okay.
And get them back up and running.
Good. Okay. Because that's a conversation that every town is having.
Right.
Thank you. I wish we had more time. But people, like you said, can go to your town website to see the warrant, to see all the articles that are up at town meeting. Educate yourselves. I think that's the big clue, is educate yourselves. Thank you so much.
Julie, it's all my pleasure. Thank you for coming in. I
great to
haven't
have
been
you.
in this place since I left the legislature. I miss it.
For a while, yeah. Well, we hope to have you back on a regular basis,
You
sir.
folks do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you so much. And thank you for watching. For more information and links to our stories, check out PCN at our website, pactv.org. PCN is also on Facebook and Twitter, so be sure to follow us there. All stories are also on YouTube channels, so be sure to check us out there. We're back on March 28th for more local stories. You have a great week.